guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are brand new, my name is Keo. I do art things. If you're returning, then you already know that, and hello again. In today's episode of What Will Keo Do Next, I show you guys how I went ahead and made these super cute keychains. A few years ago, probably like 5-6 years ago, something like that, a friend of mine was into the resin. He gave me these really cute, I guess they would be like the jewelry, the metal jewelry mold type things, where you just pour resin into them and let it harden and they kind of form whatever shape the metal is. Like, that's key. So if you guys are brand new to resin or anything else like that, I hope that this video helps you guys learn and maybe just pick up a new technique or a new way to do it. Trust me, I was brand new going into this kind of thing. I have been tinkering around with self-leveling resin, you know, the kind that you leave for a couple of nights. So it was quite the experience to me. And hey, like I've been saying, this year I'm trying to get out of my artistic little bubble and experience new things. It showcases the process, what kind of worked for me, what didn't work for me, what I would change, you know, the next time that I do it, which there would be some changes. Yeah. Some of the ways that I was happy with the outcome, like the My Melody one. If you have any tips or tricks for me, definitely leave those down in the comment section. I do read the comments. This is just a little inspirational channel, so I hope that you guys learn and become inspired to do a little fun project for yourself. So if you have any other questions, you know where to hit me up. Let's just jump right into the video.
Ooh, this is the pack that my friend got me. It came with 6 little metal molds and 3 additional packs of little confetti pieces to stick inside of the resin. They're all super cute. I don't know where he found them, but I'm glad that he did. And yeah, this is the UV resin that I used for the molds. It is a crystal clear drying resin, obviously with UV. That's why you see my lamp off to the side. So what I did to test out was stick a little bit of resin at the bottom of these molds, and then I used a silicone pick, I guess you would call it. I don't know, I just scooted around the resin till it kind of hit every wall of the mold, and then I went ahead and nuked it under the UV lamp for about 30 seconds, I think. And I did not fill it up. As you can see, I just put a very thin layer at the bottom just to test it, because I wanted to see how the layers built up and see what worked and what didn't work. So after I did the UV lamp, I went ahead and stuck some holographic cosmetic glitter in it, because I also wanted to see what it would look like with holo. Everybody loves a good holo flake, so that's what I did. And then for this one, because I was just testing out the resin, I went ahead and just put more of the clear resin, no colors, in this one. I actually really enjoy how this key turned out, and I tried using the same method for the rest of them, but then my curiosity got the best of me and I had to test out other ways. Sometimes it gets the best of you, and sometimes it works out for the best. After I was done with each of the molds, the final UV I went ahead and kept under there for about 2 minutes, and then just kind of moved on to the next one. The My Melody one was my favorite by far to go ahead and do, and as you see, I'm just once again placing the resin in a very thin layer, just at the very bottom, taking that little pick tool, scooting the resin all around, and then I am using that as a base layer that I put the pigment into. As you can tell, the little twin stars one is at the top. I want to explain what I did for that one so you don't do it. As you can see where my middle finger is, underneath there is a bunch of pigment. What I wanted to experiment with was what it would look like if I put the pigment down on the mat underneath of the mold and then put the resin on top of that. It picked up a little bit of the pigment, but not as much as I wanted. So if you are going to be experimenting with colors, I suggest putting down that thin layer of resin at the bottom of the mold and then putting the pigment over it. As you can see, the pink pigment turned out super pink when doing that method. I tried actually keeping with that for the rest of the little molds. The pigment process with a paintbrush, how I found out, was a little meticulous. It was a little rough getting it into the very fine crevices of the little molds. So if you are planning on doing that, do it with a smaller paintbrush than what I was using, which is probably about a quarter paintbrush. Do it with like a fine liner paintbrush. I think that would probably give you better results. And as you can tell, the white turned out super white doing it on top of the resin. Like I said at the start of the video, this was definitely such a learning curve for me that if I do this again, now I have more experience and more knowledge backing my decisions in the future. I actually thoroughly enjoyed doing this and would do it again. 8 out of 10. But it gave me a couple of ideas for how I want to go ahead and do my other resin projects. So I'm looking forward to them, and I hope that you guys are. Of course, the My Melody one being probably one of the better ones that I did in this video, I go more in depth with the process. So now I'm just going and laying down more of the resin, this time making sure that it's at the top of the mold. Sometimes if you want the aesthetic look of it bubbling over the mold, you can put a little bit more extra resin in it so it has that nice dome shape. So these two little guys were also experiments of trying different things. This is one of my duochrome powders that I was just playing around with the kitty for. It's really pretty. It's like a purple that turns to like a blue. I have a few of them and I haven't fully tested a lot of them out properly. So maybe you'll see a little bit more of those on the channel. The Sailor Moon one was a little bit of a pain in the ass, only because it had really tiny, narrow little angles and stuff. Like her arms and legs, like her little appendages. It was hard for me to get my tool into to drag the resin across. So maybe if you guys do this, you'll have better luck with it. It didn't turn out horrible at all. But there are, like I've said before, definitely some things that I would do a little different if I was to do this again. For that though, what I did was just kind of drag my tool with the resin kind of as far down into the little narrow passageways that I could, and then wait it a little bit so the resin could kind of settle down. Maybe some of the air pockets would come up, stuff like that. And then I would quickly put it under my light and cure it so it wouldn't budge before I put the color on. And of course, it being Sailor Moon, she has to have celestial glitter. So adding a crap ton of holographic glitter flake to it, I think it was ready to go ahead and finalize the little resin piece. What I decided to do after I was done with all the resin, this was a spur of the moment kind of thing, was to make them into keychains. As you guys saw at the beginning, they are still keychains. But I was just like, you know what? In my little powder box, I had a couple extra little key rings in there. So I decided to put the best ones that I felt and make them into keychains. I thought they turned out super cute. I would rock it. And I do apologize, it was kind of off screen. You weren't really missing much. It's just me putting a jump ring onto a pre-made keychain and then adding my own little touches. Like you can see the little cinnamon rolls off to the side, and I had a couple of other packages of them too. Like I showed you guys at the start, I had a couple different variations, like a pink one, a black and white one. I think there was a blue one or a green one. I picked the best ones for each of the keychains that I felt were necessary. And then another final touch was to add a little ribbon. I decided to make it removable because not everybody likes the ribbons, and I just wanted to add a little extra flair, little hint of cuteness in there, so I just put a little bow on it. I tend to put bows on everything, so if you like it, you can keep it. If you don't like it, you can take it off. You can secure it in place if you want. You can super glue the shit out of it and keep it there forever, or you can replace it with whatever color that you want. And then just decided to stick it in holographic packaging. That is pretty much all for this video. If you guys liked it, definitely don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of art videos, and recently I've been doing more art videos, which I'm very happy for. Expect more art videos coming up, and I hope that you guys have a really good rest of the week, and I will see you next time. All right, bye guys!